Calvin owns his own real estate company. I said, okay, I don't think I remember seeing that part, but yeah, I'm on season 1, episode 1. I said I'm gonna try to watch all of season 1 and just do a whole video on it. But yeah, Calvin owns his own real estate company. So I said, why don't Zach work with Calvin? I said, Calvin, from what we seen, is a legit person. He has had Sabrina's back, Marie's back. He just seemed like a stand-up guy. So I was like, if I was a teamer, Zach no longer wants to work with Bryce, why don't he work with Calvin? I was like, okay, hopefully we see guest appearances because I want to see some characters from Sistas on Zatima. Not stirring up no mess like they friends on Zatima, but like pop-ins. Like pop-ins and everything, because they already mentioned Gary. They mentioned Gary on Zatima, if you didn't know. So I was like, okay, what about Calvin? And what happened to the Jake dude? I was like, dog, Zach, every time he get a chance to meet new friends, they vanish. But maybe we'll end up seeing Jacob on Zatima as well as season 6 Tyler Perry's Sisters. But yeah, I watched the first episode, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a review, a recap, because like I forgot a lot about it. I knew Andy was still missing. Let me go to her page. I just wrote their names down. I knew Andy was sleeping with Gary on season 1. He had said he was leaving his wife for her. And I said, don't they usually say that? We've seen shows where they say that and they don't mean it. And he didn't leave her until later, or did she leave him? I forgot. But yeah, he said he was leaving her. And the girls was having a conversation. They said that Andy gave Gary into her birthday for a proposal. Another thing that I want to mention before I forget, because y'all know I will. You know how we all been, not we all, but most of us been talking about how Tyler Perry wrote in there twice that Andy made partner or up for partner. I said, now that I watched episode 1, I was like, it make more sense that she would be up for partner now, recently, because versus like on another season. Because on episode 1, they were saying she was new to the firm. She just started. She was talking about how that's the most money she ever made. So I was like, okay, then that actually makes sense. I said the second timeline made more sense because they were saying that was her first case. That's the most that firm ever seen from one person. I think they said in total, I forgot how much she made. I think she made, what was it, 25 million for the lady? And she made for herself 800,000. I said, dog, that's a lot in just one case. And that's when, I think that's before she had just started working there and everything. So I said, okay, the timeline recently where she was telling Robin that she was up for promotion, she was up for partner. I said, okay, that makes more sense. Versus when we seen it the other time when the Fatima got promoted as well. Because remember, Fatima wasn't working for Andy at first. I don't think she was working for her at first. She was just working the front desk. But now they got another lady there. But yeah, let's see what else Andy had going on. The lady that played Fatima Mama she was her client, Helen. Her name was Helen. They used Helen's name twice, didn't they? I think her name was Helen, and then the lady that Zach was messing with, wasn't his name Helen or Helena? I don't know yet. But yeah, Fatima Mama on Zatima, they had her play the role of Andy's client, the one she got all that money from. And I said, yeah, they got her. At first, I was like, wait a minute now. I was thinking that that's the same woman, that was Fatima Mama as well. So I was like, okay, she and her getting a divorce, but I seen the guy, and them two different guys. And I was like, ooh, that would have been interesting. And then, you know how Fatima dad has told Fatima Mama that she got to tell Fatima? I was like, is that what it's about? They got a divorce? Then I was reading it, and they said, no, she was just guest starring on Sisters episode 1, but now she playing her mama. And I was like, look, that would have been a good plot twist. But Andy was saying that she was planning on breaking things off with Gary, and because he doesn't think he's the one. But the minute he came with them flowers and they start sleeping together, she changed her mind. And I said, we didn't seen her since season 1 talk about leaving this man, but still hasn't. She still hasn't. So I wanted to see what growth these characters have displayed since season 1. And so far, Andy's still involved with Gary. The Karen thing, we might as well talk about Karen next. Let me see if it's anything else, because it's some things Zach said, and I compared it to what Dr. Reed on Zatima said to him about having anything good compared to, his childhood and stuff. Because he was telling Karen some stuff. I was like, look, she ain't completely wrong in this now, when you go back and watch it. But Gary didn't want Andy to give up on him, but he wanted a few more months. He was telling her he wanted a few more months. I said, look, she should have broke it off. She should have never began it. Once she find out you was married, she should have cut it off then, but she didn't, or whatever. So just a few more months. And then Look, what happened was because they said in season 6 he's supposed to have a pregnant fiance. So I was like, look, she became the main chick, and now he got to get somebody else's for the side. And I said, that's kind of her karma, right? But let me see. I already talked about the partner thing. That's all they got. I said that's all they got. That's all I got for Andy. Next is I'm gonna skip over Danny right now because it's something that she said on season 1, episode 1, 2 that I want to address. It was about a guy, but we're gonna talk about Karen and Zach. Okay, so the girls were saying that Karen and Zach broke up because he cheated. Cause I know some people were saying that he never cheated when anytime they was together. I mean, anytime he stepped out with somebody else, they was broken up or whatever. But yeah, it was verified that in season 1, episode 1, he did cheat. I think more than likely what it is because Danny said it. The girl that they work with, the Helen lady, whatever her name is, I'm gonna find that out. I think it was Helen or Helena or something like that. Because Danny was like, where she at? When she get to work and all this stuff. So yeah. But yeah, the girls were saying Karen and Zach broke up because he cheated. So he did cheat. It was so many different things that happened in just episode 1 that I was like, okay, she really shouldn't want him back. And it's like what I've been saying. It wasn't about the money because a lot of people said once he got money, that's when she wanted him. And I said more so her seeing him be the man that she always wanted him to be. We seen her at the doctor, Karen at the doctor for a physical, as well as trying to make sure she didn't catch that stuff from Zach. And the doctor was telling Karen that she was negative for it, and also that the last time she was there she was talking about having a family. So I said I get why she acting how she act because she expected to have a family from with Zach. And I said, but I know at a certain point she got to get over it, she got to accept it. And another thing is the fact that that's why you don't play that on and off thing, because don't nobody take you seriously when you finally off. Because when you be even the friend circle, even Karen friend circle was like, nah, they ain't done at one point. Because if you been for years on and off, then they keep saying 3 years. Does it really count as 3 years if y'all been on and off again? You don't supposed to count the full year, do you? But yeah, the doctor was telling her she wanted a family, and the doctor just kept on saying like, once you get past 35, I think it becomes a high risk pregnancy, and now we see Karen pregnant, so hopefully everything goes smoothly. Somebody said they hope she lose the baby. I said, well, that's a mean thing to say, even if it is a show. um, but Zach gave Karen something she had to be on antibiotics for to get rid of. That's another reason. He cheated. She got that stuff from him. I don't know what, but she got that stuff from him. She had to take antibiotics to get rid of it. Um, but yeah, we see Zach at the end of the episode come back to Karen, basically begging her back, and he told Karen he'd never had a woman like her before, and he wanted Karen to help him get better. He wanted her to save him. I said, first of all, you gotta save yourself. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Ain't nobody coming to see you. Nah, but yeah, I said so. There's so many different reasons. I said that's why I said I see why she had the mentality that she did, the on again, off again for 3 years. Seeing him become who she wanted him to be, but never spoke life into him to be. Which again, it's not her responsibility to do that. We see Fatima do is speak life into him and stuff, but it's not. It wasn't really. Of course, she ain't gonna speak. You ain't supposed to speak death into them or just negative, negative, negative. Which we see Karen be. But yeah, I said it's more so seeing him be who you wanted him to be, but you didn't verbally, in a good way, tell him to be or whatever, or encourage him to be. But yeah, he told Karen he never had a woman like her before. And I was like, yeah, that's why she got that mentality that, oh, he always comes back to me and all this stuff. And he was like, he wanted her to help him get better. He wanted to seek help. And he was talking about, you know where I come from. So we know where he come from now. His mama, his brother, just all that mess. So I was like, oh, I don't know. We're going to have to wait to see what happens. Danny. Okay, so we see her driving to work and everything, and she's calling everybody, talking about him. Or said, you know what he did? Talking about he was liking some lady photo, and she was just calling everybody. First, she was on the phone with. Did she call Karen first? I think she called Karen, and she was at the doctor, and then she called Sabrina. And I said, okay, will we see him in season 6? Because we seen how Danny just messing around with randoms. I would like to see the guy from season 1 that she was talking about. And Zach had told her, you know y'all ain't together, right? And she was like, yeah, but they sort of are and all that stuff. I think she said his name was Jerome or something. I was like, okay, we should see more of people from their past, not people, just random people. Not just random people. So it's revealed that Danny is the one that I knew that though. I think they had revealed that again in a later season, but they said that Danny is the one that hooked Zach up, Zach and Karen up, and because she was confronting him in the airport, and she was like, "I hooked you up with my friend, and you could go and sleep with this girl," and she was like, "What she gonna tell the lady when she get to work and everything?" Oh, we haven't seen her lady either. I think we don't see her in what. We seen her in season 1. 'Cause I think she came back and apologized and said she actually wasn't pregnant. I don't know, but yeah. Um, I said Danny has always been the one to speak her mind because we see when the girls gather together at the little bar place, and she just was asking because they was talking even then about Calvin about whether or not he was gay or on the DL or whatever, and she just flat out said it because they was like Sabrina and them was saying don't say nothing, and she just flat out said I said look, she always been the one to speak her mind for sure. And the last person is Sabrina. This is where she on episode 1 she meets Calvin. And another thing I said should be over from the Gary and the Andy thing to the Sabrina and Calvin thing. So they meet or whatever. And Maurice seems to think that Calvin's on the DL. And I was like, look, I think at that point they must not know where they was going with the Calvin character, because when you look back on previous season, or they're just showing that sometimes people be into what they into or like freaky stuff like that. Maybe that's what they was. Because I was about to say maybe they didn't know what they wanted to do with his character, because the way they had him act. And then wasn't the scene, I think we about to approach, I think I'm on the episode, I think it's episode 2, where did he kiss that dude on the lips? Did he kiss somebody on the lips? I remember that. I think I remember something about him kissing somebody on the lips, and that's why Sabrina, one of the many reasons why Sabrina thought he was on the DL. But yeah, he comes, he asks Sabrina out on a date. She eventually goes. Before that, he was, like I said, he was mentioning he owns his own real estate company. So I was like, Zach, here's your partner right here, regardless of what he into sexually. I said, instead of Bryce, because I highly doubt Bryce done with Zach. I just get that vibe that he's not over him. Not over him. I don't want to say it like that, but I get the vibe that I think he gonna still want Angela and still want to secretly crush on Zach. I don't know. But yeah, that's all that really happened on episode 1. I think I'm gonna watch the whole season 1 and just do a summary or whatever. If they got a lot of episodes, I was like, I wanted to do like watch all the seasons, but we got 5 seasons to watch with how many episodes? Like 20 episodes a piece. But I don't know. But yeah, y'all stay tuned for more reviews on season 1. So, because I wanted to refresh since we ain't got no preview yet, which hopefully we will get this week. Because if they talking about it's come back over the summer, then it should definitely be a trailer coming out soon. I've seen more spoiler pictures. Zach and Fatima both with Zach's son. I don't know his name. I forgot what they said his name was gonna be. But yeah, we see those. They all over Instagram. They all over Facebook. So yeah, all you gotta do is type in Tyler Perry Sistas season 6 and stuff, and people are sharing it. But yeah, comment your thoughts about season 1, episode 1 down below. Stay tuned for more videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Deuces.